Welcome back to New York City Gardener. I'm Nastasha. All right, today we want to get more warm weather crops into the soil. So I have two types of bush beans here that I want to put in that container back there. That container has had a lot of different crops growing in it, and I think it needs a break. Right now there's garlic chives and kohlrabi in there. I'm going to take the garlic chives out, leave the kohlrabi. Hopefully I can get some kohlrabi before it gets too hot, and then we're going to plant these bush beans. I have another planter, which I'll show you in a minute. It's over there. I'm going to be planting another type of bush bean here to help fix nitrogen into the soil, and then also three different types of cucumbers. So we have cucamelon, we have a muncher cucumber, and then a straight 8 cucumber. And this container really can only have one plant each. So I want to get one of each of these in there with beans. Now, last year I had tomatoes in there, and you're really not supposed to follow cucumbers after tomatoes. However, I have a very complicated situation with limited space, and there's nowhere else to put the cucumber. So I've just made an executive decision. That's what I'm doing, and we'll see how it goes. It's going to be an experiment. And then I've already decided that next year I will definitely give that planter a break and do something completely different. Then the other thing I'm going to do is fertilize my blueberries. I was out of this. I probably should have done it already, but we're going to do it today. No big deal. Now, I also got 3 free strawberry bare root plants. I want to get those into the soil today. I got these from New York Restoration Project. That is an organization in New York City that I believe was founded by Bette Midler. And basically what they're trying to do is save green spaces in New York. So one of the famous spaces that they saved was the High Line. So if you've ever been to New York City and you've been on the High Line, it's a beautiful park. It's an old railroad that they were going to tear down. I believe it was Bloomberg that wanted to tear it down, and they were going to put up real estate there, and they saved it. They saved them from doing that, and it is my favorite park in New York City, so I love going there. It can be a bit crowded because it's so awesome, but if you go in the morning, it's way better. I also got some potatoes. Never grown potatoes, so this is going to be the year to do that, and they gave me compost. So, it's nice, like some of these organizations in New York City that can help out gardeners in any way. It's just, I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get growing. All right, this is the container I was talking about that I think just needs a break. I have so many garlic chives. This is salad burnet going to seed. We have kohlrabi in here. I've grown peppers in here. I think I've kind of overdone it with this container. So my goal is to get all of these garlic chives out of here. I'm gonna leave this for now because I think my partner's gonna want these flowers as they're edible. And I'm gonna leave the kohlrabi in hopes that I can still get a kohlrabi. Get all these garlic chives out and then put beans in here and give this planter a nice break for the season. So here we go. Here we are with all the garlic chives taken out. It's pretty bare now, so now let's plant the beans. Now we have all these garlic chives, which I'm going to attempt to put them in here. This is an artichoke. Technically that would be a perennial if it can make it through the winter, so I'm going to put garlic chives around it. We need to take this up. It's already going to seed, so I can make space for all these garlic chives, and I think I'll just have that in this trash can. All right, let's see what we can do with this. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest this. We can eat this, something with it. Cilantro. We have a couple of beets that haven't done anything yet. We have some endive that hasn't done anything yet. Some marigolds. Put these somewhere else. The sunflower there too. I'm just going to stack them in there. See what makes it. There's probably way too many garlic chives, but just having fun here. Look at this puppy. What in the world am I gonna do? It's a little insane, I'm not gonna lie. Before I plant these seeds, I'm gonna just get the soil a little bit more even. I noticed when I was taking up the garlic chives that, man, their roots were just taking over this planter. And that makes sense why everything else has been struggling, because they've just taken over. So I like garlic chives, but I don't need enough garlic chives to feed a village. I just need a few garlic chives to feed ourselves. So glad I got those out. I've been doing this. The soil is like so tough. Also have a lot of little plants in here, like little flowers and stuff, so I'm trying to be careful of them. We're gonna put in the Blue Lake and the Cherokee wax. I want to end up with about 10 plants. So I'm gonna plant 7 of each. So 14 seeds. We'll thin out 4 as we go along. I only have 8 of these seeds. I'm just gonna plant all 8. Let's water everything. All right, we're gonna water it in, and then we are just going to see what happens. I like to experiment and have fun, test things out. I'm glad I got them out of their container. At some point I'll add a little bit more soil in here, but I think for now it's fine. Now I'm ready to fertilize my blueberries. This is an 11-gallon container. This is probably a 3-gallon container, even though it's really just a trash can. So we're gonna use one of these per gallon of soil. So for this one we'll get 11, and this one will get 3. That seems like a lot, but that's what the directions said, so that's what we're doing. Also, I haven't fertilized it yet this year, so I feel like that kind of makes up a little bit. And I'm supposed to do that every month during the growing season, so probably just a couple more months. Blueberries, we already have some growing here. They're not going to be growing all year, they're just going to be growing for a couple of months. All right, that was easy. Just going to water it in. Okay, as you can see, we have a few blueberries growing. Those look good. We have some more, there they are, some more down here. So we definitely have some. I probably would have had more if I had added more fertilizer earlier, but that's okay. This is my new plant. Oh, yeah, I'm seeing some buds there. So it would be great because you really need 2 plants to get the most amount of blueberries because the bees cross-pollinate them. All right, I think this watered in well, and then I just hear it slowly draining what they don't need. So I have a little update on my peppers. I mean, the fact that I'm getting peppers in May is absolutely insanity. These are Calabrian, at least that's what it says, but it looks to me like jalapenos. These might be mislabeled. Really cool. We should have peppers in, I don't know, a few weeks. I think that's the only one with actual peppers on it. Starting to see raspberries. They are starting to actually look like raspberries, so that's pretty cool. They're all over this plant. They're everywhere. So that is really encouraging. This planter turned out so well. We have some bees that are already growing. Some of these might be ready to be harvested, but those look great. And then we have nice lettuce down here. We have some Johnny jump ups here, bachelor buttons here. This planter turned out really well. And it's just an old trash can. So some of the cool things you can do, get creative when you have a small space. Fig tree is really coming along. I just bought this year and planted it. If you watch some of my older videos, it was a tiny little thing and only had 3 stems on it, no leaves. And now it is looking great. I doubt seriously I'm gonna get figs this year. Maybe I'll get 1 or 2, but it's really focusing on creating a beautiful established plant, and then we'll get figs next year for sure. All right, so this is the planter I was talking about earlier that I was growing tomatoes in here last year. We've got bok choy that's going to seed. Now we've got bachelor buttons. These need to be transplanted. Russian tarragon, more lettuce. Ooh, ladybug. Thank you for your service. Beautiful. I always love to see ladybugs in the garden. There's another one. Where is that? Where is he? Beehive. There he is. Very good. Thank you. I think that's enough for today. So my goal is actually to take this out tomorrow, remove all of this bok choy, need to start harvesting the lettuce, and then I'm going to plant 6 cucumber seeds in here, so 2 of each plant, of each variety, and then also more bush beans. Then I'm going to need to buy a trellis, and we're going to figure that out later. But I think that's going to be tomorrow's game plan. And also the potatoes. Need to start those as well. But wow, the city is looking beautiful as per usual. Any questions, feel free to comment below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.